Josh Harris, the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, is a bum and he needs to trade the team right now. Through all the changes that he has made the last, 8 years, that has placed the Sixers in a position that we will probably never win a championship. And that, my good people, is tragic. A big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will be talking about the ownership management group led by Joshua Harris and why I do not believe he is a good NBA owner or NBA governor, since we want to be politically correct these days. But before I do, I want to wish everybody a happy, prosperous, and joyous holiday season. Merry Christmas that just passed. Happy first day of Kwanzaa to everybody who is hearing the sound of my voice, as well as happy Hanukkah and all the other holidays worldwide. This year was the year that my actual channel popped off immensely, and that is only because of you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for all the likes, the shares, the comments, the engagement with my channel and with my Instagram page. Hands down, none of my dreams become possible without your overall support. So like, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If this is your first time on the channel, a big what's up to you. Sub a brother up for more Unique Sisters content. We are almost like, we're like 30 subs. We are less than 30 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. And once the boy hit that point, that's when I can be monetized by the YouTube platform. So if you feel so inclined, help a brother out. If not, that's fine too. But yeah, enough promotion. Let's get to the video talking about this boy. Enjoy. So to be honest, this joint isn't really even structured like that, or this video rather isn't even that structured. This is just giving my thoughts and a little bit of a rant, just because, you know, as y'all know, I haven't been really engaged with this team this season, as they are a complete dumpster fire. We already know why that is. If you don't know why, we already covered that in my last video. But what I have learned as a fan, or what I have heard as a fan for many years, and even in life, just in general, is that organizational success starts at the top. And after that, it trickles down to the GM, the coach, and then ultimately the basketball team itself. And if you have followed the Sixers the last over close to a decade, you know the amount of change and influx and non-consistency. The organization is a complete, terribly run mess. So who is Joshua Harris? He is a University of Pennsylvania Wharton School as well as Harvard Business School graduate. He was born and raised in the beautiful state of Virginia, where he wrestled in high school, which he said helped him gain discipline in all of his life endeavors. He made his fortune in being a top managerial position at a private equity firm. And for those who don't know what that is, it's basically companies who purchase poorly ran businesses and increase their productivity, basically profiting off of rebuilding back brands. Or as what Harris would say, buying good companies with bad balance sheets. You can see why he would eventually buy the Sixers. He bought the team from Ed Snyder, who we all remember, back during 2011 for an estimated $280 million, which, fun fact, the 76ers were valued $45 million less than what the Pistons franchise was at that moment in time, which is actually crazy if you think about it. During that time, the Sixers were in NBA purgatory, which we all know. Good enough to get a playoff berth, but not good enough to win a championship. Thus, we will always get high draft picks that wouldn't help us in the long run to obtain that goal of getting a Larry O'Brien trophy. Staying in that, you know, constant 8th, 7th, 6th seed, not getting past the second round, just to do it all over again the next year. They also had poor attendance as well. Buying the Sixers for Harris, first and foremost, was a business opportunity that his private equity background could manage. Let's take this team, this historic NBA franchise, and turn it around, and let's make some cash off of them. At his introductory press conference, he said of the team, "We think we are able to participate in breathing new life into the team. The team has been less connected with its fans, and as a result was not generating enough revenue and selling tickets at as much as we think we can do. It wasn't realizing its potential. This," Harris added, "is a really exciting business opportunity." So what mistakes did he do that led us to the current situation of the 76ers, to where we are mediocre as hell? I have a timeline, a pretty quick jump, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. So the first one was trying to make a big splash with Andrew Bynum, which completely blew up in his face and failed, which ultimately started the process that Harris would not see through. After the whole Bynum fiasco, he would hire Sam Hinkie to win a championship by any means necessary for the organization. Then Harris quit 75% into that plan because he was pressured by the league and was embarrassed about the on-court product, even though that's what Sam Hinkie said he was going to do. During his interview process, Hinkie said he was upfront about the whole tanking thing, and that he needed full support from the organization to proceed. Harris agreed and then reneged. Eventually, after Hinkie, he would bring in new managerial management recommended by the league, who told him to oust Hinkie, which completely blew up in his face again through a Twitter burner account scandal, where that same NBA recommended management, the Colangelos, leaked player medical records and gave non-elicited thoughts on the team. At this time, the 76ers definitely became the laughingstock of the whole league, which we still have now. He then takes matters into his own hands along with his crew, making basketball operations decisions under the guise of a team collaborative effort. And I know y'all all do remember that time when Mr. Brett Brown was our GM for a few months, which at that point saw the team making hella roster moves, pushing in pieces of the process when we didn't necessarily have to. He also coddled Ben Simmons to death, which most of us Philly fans did, so I really can't blame him. Harris allowed a culture of losing to permeate his franchise with consistent managerial change and roster reconstruction. There was no direction nor identity that this organization could hold on to other than being losers. And that's why we are the bum team that you see today. It is clear Harris did not have a direction or a vision, or when he did, he reneged on it, didn't see it through, and got played by the league. That's not leadership, y'all. That's being a punk. You got punked by the league, giving you the Colangelos, and the Colangelos showed their behind, and then you had to pick up the pieces. And then you just expect your leaders of your basketball team, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who are young in their careers at that time, not to somehow induce some of that problematic toxicity. Like, come on, dog. Like, it was screwed. It was screwed. There is a reason why major free agents don't come to Philadelphia or ultimately do not choose the Philadelphia 76ers as their new team. There is a reason why buyout market candidates never usually choose the Sixers. I would make the argument that has more so to do with the organizational culture itself. And that begins and ends with Josh. For what it is worth, the Sixers' value has gone from $280 million to about $2 billion under Harris since buying the team. The attendance has skyrocketed from bottom of the league to top 5. Since that time, Harris and his company has bought an NHL hockey team and other entertainment ventures. So the bull is doing well for himself. But my question in all of this, does Harris really care about bringing a championship to Philly at this point? Honestly, it might really depend on how this Ben Simmons situation develops. To his credit, he did bring in Daryl Morey, who has some, at least, cachet of being a good GM. So maybe Harris hasn't given up the dream yet, but this is a good thing to ask. Honestly, in my opinion, if we do not win a championship during the Embiid era after rebuilding our squad perfectly in terms of getting draft picks and finding talent, only to be stuck in the same position that we started in pre-process, the 76ers will never be taken seriously as an NBA basketball franchise ever again. This all falls on Joshua Harris's shoulders. After the Embiid era, I want everyone and everything that had to do with the process gone so we can start fresh. You've made your money, good sir. Now please give the team up. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Harris is going anywhere, but a bull can dream, can he?